Mabuhay, kamusta kayo, and welcome to another video. So this is going to be a little update on how some of the cacti and succulents I've grown from seed are getting on in the Mars Hydro grow tent under the grow light. It's been a little while again since the last update. You might remember about 4 months ago I potted a lot of these ones up into these square pots from their trays. All doing pretty good. Most have put on some new growth. If you haven't seen that video where I potted a lot of these up, I'll link that video up above and in the description below as well. I do still have a couple of trays in here with plants in that need to be potted up soon as well. I'll make a start on that in the next few months once spring is here proper. You might also remember from the previous videos I've done on the plants in here that I had a bit of a spider mite issue. They did damage and killed a few plants unfortunately. Somewhat on top of that issue now. I know there's still some lurking around in here, but I do spray the plants regularly with my isopropyl alcohol and liquid soap solution. That does help a lot with keeping their numbers down. You can see some damaged plants here. They are starting to recover though. Some mite damage on this gymno, but again you can see the plant is now slowly growing out of that damage. Bit of a shame they damaged some plants, but like I said, the spray solution I use is pretty effective. Just got to keep on top of it, so I do make a habit of spraying the plants every week or so, especially ones the mites do like to feed on. So yeah, I'll show you a few of the more notable plants in here now, ones that are growing really nicely. Starting with one of my seed grown Euphorbia obesa. This one getting ready to flower for the first time. Not sure if this one will be male or female. Looks like it might possibly be a male. All these Euphorbia I have in the grow tent absolutely love it in here, and thankfully the mites seem to leave them alone for the most part. Another obesa, this one in bloom and is a male. And these are just over a year old as well and already a really nice size. I don't think they'd have reached this size already with just natural light. Conditions in the grow tent are ideal for them. A hybrid obesa here, this one crossed with Euphorbia symmetrica. You can see it looks a bit different. Has these quite prominent, what almost look like little thorns running down each rib. Very cool. Looks like this one might be getting ready to flower soon as well. One of my Gymnocalycium root beers. Gorgeous variegation in this one. Is doing very well after it got a repot too. Hopefully it won't be long before this starts producing some offsets soon. Would be nice to propagate from this. One of my favourites, this one, as some of you know. I've shown this 5-headed Gymnocalycium manovici a few times now. Love the purple coloration this has as well. Certainly a keeper, this plant. As is this one, a Monstrose Astrophytum mysterious. Very slow growing of course. This is getting on for 4 years old now. Pretty cool though how this mutation can just randomly occur. All the other seedlings from the same batch of seeds are normal. Nice little variegated Asterias. Unusual that it has 6 ribs as well. Asterias normally have 8. I've had a couple with 7 and 5 ribs, but I think this is the only one I have with 6. That's not to say it won't develop an extra rib or 2 as it grows, that can happen. There's lovely aloe here from our friend Magda of Cactus and Cactus. I posted a picture of this recently on my community page. This was green before I put it in the grow tent, but I wanted to see what its stress colours look like. Lovely purple colour with those bright red teeth. Not sure on the species though, I've had a few suggestions, could possibly be Christmas Carol. Another aloe I recently put in the tent because I wanted to see what the stress colours would look like. Looks a bit different through the camera than it does to the naked eye, it does look more pinkish, hence the name Pink Blush. Grown from seed that my friend Carl sent me all the way from India. And another aloe, this one from my friend Clyde of Morris Park in the Ozarks. This one called Purple People Eater. This one was an offset I took off the mother plant because again I wanted to see the stress colours on this. Euphorbia bayoensis. I do have a couple of these, one from Lynn of Desert Plants of Avalon, but I wanted another one so I could propagate it, and I didn't really want to cut pieces off the one Lynn sent me as it's grown so nicely. So I got one off eBay last year, and this is one I propagated pieces of. It was just the long central stem, and over the past 6 months or so it's grown all these offshoots. Really nice euphorbia, this one. The only calencho I have left. Some of you might remember I did have a huge one of these in the grow tent, but it died after flowering. And all the little plantlets these grow on the edge of the leaves were dropping off all over the place and sprouted up in all the trays and pots. I gave most of those to my friend Ziggy of Ziggy's Cactus channel. I'm going to try and keep these small if I can. If they start getting too tall, I'll probably snip the tops off. Lovely trio of Lophophora williamsi. Ones that spider mites really do love feeding on. But again, I've been spraying these regularly and I haven't seen any mites on these. I do use a magnifying loupe to check certain plants more closely, as they are pretty hard to see otherwise. You tend to notice the damage they've caused first. One of the bigger seed ground plants I have, this lovely Gymnocalycium horridus hybrid. Kath from Purple and Thorn sent me the seed for this, and quite a few others that are in the grow tent as well. Another one of my favourites here, Gymnocalycium stenogonum, or technically Mahanovici variety stenogonum I think. Lovely ribs and lovely vicious spines. This has been quite a slow grower. I think this is getting on for 6 years old now. It was from a batch of seeds that my lovely partner Edith sent me, so that's extra special because of that as well. And some more Astrophyte mysterious here. Some of these quite large and definitely big enough for their own pots now. Some really nice markings on some of these. And some not so nice spider mite markings on a few of them as well, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll be getting these potted up from their trays pretty soon. So that's a bit of an update on how things are in the grow tent. And today is also watering day for all these as well, so I'll include that in this video too. So it's late evening, which is when I water most of my plants, especially in the grow tent because I like to water them all and then turn the grow light off for the night. I use this pump sprayer that Edith got for me. It makes watering plants so much quicker. It would take far too long with one of those squirty bottles, which is what I used to use to water all of these. So I'm going to pump the sprayer. This tends to be a bit loud, but I'll lower the volume down and edit in for you. And we're good to go. So I roughly know how much to give each pot before the water starts coming out the bottom. They are in a fairly gritty mix, so the water does fall through pretty quickly. Not concerned if too much comes out the bottom. These pots are all sitting on trays and everything in here will be pretty much bone dry again after a couple of days. I do have fans running in here constantly, which helps with the drying. So yeah, this will still take a good 15 minutes or so. So what I'll probably do is speed all the footage up and be back with you once they're all watered. And there we go, all watered. And if you're wondering how often I water these, it's roughly every week to 10 days. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like and comment. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell as well so you know when I upload a new video. You'll be safe and well, and I shall see you next time. Salam Bob Alam. Bye for now.